Welcome everyone. Today we're going to do a reading for all signs, all people. We are connecting, I am connecting to my spirit guides, who I feel connect to yours. I don't feel that. I kind of know that. How do I know that? I don't know. I just know what I know what I know. You know what I mean? It's interesting because, by the way, this reading is going to be what do your spirit guides want you to know now? Like now. Okay? Not like 6 months from now, but like what do they need you to know now? And then I got this feeling of, if you find yourself like in this mode where you're seeking some solitude, that's okay this year, because this is a very spiritual year. It's a universal year 7. If you don't know what that means, research it a little bit. But 7 is about spirituality, the God's head. So if you find yourself like, but I feel like if you're in some type of solitude, you're also in reflection, but it's more of a spiritual type reflection. You know what I mean? Maybe I've healed my body and my mind, and now maybe I'm healing my soul. I don't know. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and get into the reading. This is a type of reading where you want to pay attention to your intuition. You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. I do try to keep it real. You know what I mean? A lot of times there is love that comes out, almost always, and I feel like there is going to be love, but I also feel there's some that came for like validation of a path. So I feel like all's going to be revealed, what needs to be revealed. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start. Well, first of all, we're going to use Mother Mary for our words of wisdom. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go a level deeper, whatever you want to say. And I don't know, I was going to use a different deck, but then I got pulled to this deck. This is the Psychic Tarot. The Psychic Tarot. So let's begin. All signs, all people, okay. We have 2. We have self-respect. Self-respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. I don't know why this is reminding me of, like, I remember thinking back in January that, I should really start exercising because, I don't want to get heavy and everything that comes along with that. You know what I mean? But I didn't. And now spring is here and I'm regretting it. But it's never too late at the same time. So I don't know why. That's, some of you may feel that way. Anyway, I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. And then we have family. Family. I pray for my family and give this situation over to God for answers, support, and healing. All right, and we'll read those from the book at the end of this reading. All right, let's bring in the Psychic Tarot. And I feel like allowing the story to unfold. That's what I feel called to today. So I'm going to give them, even though they're pre-shuffled, I'm going to give them some really good shuffles. I feel that really infuses the energy too. Ooh, authority. Look at him. Looks a little scary. This is the Emperor. Interesting the way that he's, you know, I'm sure that's a self of, or a surety of self, I should say. I almost feel like this person's filling their oats, but yet I feel like, you know, listen, in a way they feel maybe like a protector. You know, like nothing's coming through this door unless it comes through me first. And, you know, all of a sudden I'm feeling like Archangel Michael. Doesn't mean that things can't pass through. It just has to be according to this authority's reasoning. Anyway, we're just going to see him and put him back in. Card Aries, by the way. I feel like that's all we were meant to do. And in a way, I kind of feel like it's talking about spiritual protection. But you gotta trust it, too. Jeez. Movement, choices, and decisions. Financial and material changes. So there's some changes coming up. Or, let me say it a different way, because your decision came before that, before the change. So I feel like this may be an opportunity, something that helps you. But ultimately, it's up to you. All right. All right. Well, hello. First card, the Tower. You know, it's called disruption here. And that's what it is. It's, you know, an interruption. Though sometimes it feels destructive. It's funny, I was doing a personal reading yesterday and I was saying how, you know, it was a tower that actually brought me to, you know, one of my dreams was working from home. I'm not a morning person, like, I always hated that part of work. Once I got at work, I was fine, but you know what I mean? So I always like pictured in my mind that someday I'm going to work from home and I didn't know what. And here I am. But it wouldn't have happened had a tower not had happened. Interesting. 16, 6 and 1, 7. Can talk about a recent tower. Something, it's funny, I was going to let the story unfold. We have the waiting game. It's like, yes, Sandy, I know what the tower is. I'm in it. Maybe I'm waiting to get out of it. It's interesting because I'm noticing how this person's walking around and around and around and around. You know, it's like pacing the floor. You know, I almost feel like I'm putting too much energy into perhaps what's next. I don't know why you're going round and round and round. Has something to do with time. I want it to speed up. Well, hello, Empress. So we saw the Emperor. Now we have the Empress. 2, 3, 23. Sam's birthday. Well, hello, lovers. Well, soulmates. Right next to the Empress. That's kind of nice. And I'll tell you why. The Empress is someone who, I don't know, this 2 here is throwing me off a little bit, right? The waiting game, like going round and round, and it's connected to this tower's energy. But yet, here's the Empress. For some of you, you may have been waiting to become pregnant, and maybe, you know, maybe that's going to happen. Because I wouldn't think of the Empress in that type of energy. You know, the Empress is much more with the flow. You know, like I go with the flow. But she's also very wise and knowledgeable, or I should say, It doesn't mean book smarts, though that can be part of it. But she's loving, she's nurturing. It looks like her heart chakra is being activated. It is after the Tower, by the way, and the Two of Cups follows. It's just this two here that is throwing it a little bit. The Empress is powerful, but gentle. The Empress trusts her energy. Almost like I wouldn't need to be going round and round and round and round if I could trust my energy, because, what does that mean? That means that the Empress is being, how do I say this, is receiving like inspired epiphanies. Like her intuition, her heart chakra being activated in the right time. And I feel like the Empress just knows that. So, let's keep going. We have the soulmates. Look at this. Harmony. This is the Lovers. How interesting, because, this is a head over heart decision, first of all. Says harmony. Reminds me of a song all of a sudden. In the soulmates or the Two of Cups and in the Lovers, they're both looking at each other eye to eye. You know what I mean? Like seeing each other's souls. And it's interesting that we have the Lovers below the Towers, but the soulmates over here, that's also mirroring the Towers. This waiting game could be something like I've done over and over again, and that can even talk about past lives. Like, you've been here, you've done this, you've been here, you've done this. Now you got to learn to trust yourself, trust your own energy, because I feel like I'm getting the energy of like, oh, I've been here, like deja vu, I've been here, I go again. Okay, let's keep going. Well, hello, Six of Cups. Right under the waiting game. 2 sixes back to back. We have truth under the Empress. By the way, the Empress here, it says fertility. So, I'm not going to make any guarantees of anything, but maybe it's just saying, the less that I can be, I feel like maybe for anything. I feel like, this waiting game is on anything because it's attached to the Tower. It's the closest to the Tower. And I do feel like for some of you, it's definitely talking about some type of love. Memories of love. It can be someone of the past, right? And then truth. That's judgment. Well, to me, judgment is your spiritual team. And I feel like your spiritual team is asking for you to be in the present moment. And I feel like it's important I'm in the present moment because that's where my signs are sent, right? I don't need this anxious energy that again seems like it's tied to the past. I'm not going to say it means, it's hard. It was hard, yes. But I feel like I just feel like there's a different way of going about this. Alright. Well, hello. New beginnings. Interesting that it's right under the soulmates, the Two of Cups, and mirrored by the Lovers. Interesting because I just did a reading that was, I didn't know if I wanted it to be a twin flame reading or a soulmate reading, so I combined them. And I did 2 sides, and I have to tell you, I loved that reading. And I'll be damned if, this wasn't the same thing. So, I always say it doesn't matter who they are. Well, it's not true, but you know what I mean. Like, love is love. All right, let's keep going. So we have the Fool. Interestingly, we have the Fool with the Tower here. So this Fool is letting go of this Tower. You know, the Fool is free and clear energy. The Fool, you know, carries that little what do you call that? Oh man, nap bag. Like, that's not the name of it, I know it. Nap pack. What's wrong with my mouth? But anyways, you know, to me what that represents is, you know what I feel like all of a sudden, I'm just going to say it, like it's reminding me of a couple moves that I made that were rather close together, and each one I gave away. I gave to my kids. And when I moved here with 2 suitcases. That's it. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't miss anything. I miss Jennifer and I miss the kids. But material-wise, anyway, because I feel like that's what the Fool, you know, it's like I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to take, you know, who am I taking a chance on? On myself. In what? Clearly, in love. You know, and then Judgment right beside that Fool with the Empress right above her, right above them. You know, she's receiving these inspired epiphanies and she's putting them to use. You know, and that may just talk about energy. Anyway, I kind of love that. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. Well, 4 cups. Boredom and discontentment. Discontentment and boredom. You know, this person's got their back to the world. And, you know, I opened the reading talking about, like, it's okay to isolate, but this is different. This is, like, you know, I feel like if you're, like, in solitude, it's because you're in, like, a spiritual reflection, and I feel like that's very good for you. Here, I feel like this is, like, just, you know, whatever this tower is, even if it, then maybe it's towers that have already gone, and it's just a memory of them. So this person turns their back to the world. Interesting. Choose wisely. Almost like, I'd rather not even make a choice. But how interesting that you have the Fool. Does the Fool have to decide between this one and this one? I don't know. Let's bring in the Gilded Tarot. And let's get some more clarity. Like, I have questions, and I'm sure you do too. You know, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major arcanas. And what's the ones that aren't? They're both 2s, and then the 6. 6 is about relationships. And 2 2s. I don't know. Alright. We're going to shuffle for these, and we're really going to clarify the whole reading. But I'm looking at the Tower. I feel like I got to straighten him up. I'm looking at the Tower. Look at this Death card. You know, it could certainly mean loss. But if it is loss, it's talking about love again. It's talking about love again. But this can also call for some of you, you know, whatever these Tower moments, and, you know, maybe they were over and over and over. You know, I do the same thing, but I expect different results. I don't know. Death card talks about endings. And maybe you weren't ready for this ending. You didn't want this ending. But it does talk about, as soon as one door closes, another one opens. So, sometimes like we're waiting on divine, like, come on. This person's like, come on, come on. And divine's like, we ain't coming in until you calm down. It's interesting because I'm looking at the tower and this guy looks like he's in a straitjacket. Huh. Death card is also a card of Scorpio. Wow. We have the 5 of Cups. So, some of us are waiting on another, missing someone. With the 4 of Cups here, I feel like I got to be careful that I don't allow myself to go into the woe is me. Maybe I'm expecting someone to do something that they just can't do. I don't know. 5 of Cups. 5 is about change. Death card is about change. The Tower is about change. So I feel like whatever happened in that tower, maybe it happened 3 times. Maybe you were given 3 warnings. I don't know. 6 of Cups are right below that. Some of you, I feel like what it's saying is you got to stop focusing on what you've lost, even if you have every reason in the world to. You know what I mean? Eventually you got to stop focusing on what you lost, because in a way you have no clue of what can be, right? But if I stay in that energy, well, then I'm pretty much guaranteed that will be my future energy. You know what I mean? So I have to make a conscious choice. And maybe it does take like my emotional house. I feel like I have to, I got to close the door to these towers. And what's this person ultimately find in the 5 of Cups when they make that change? 2 Cups. But when I'm in that energy, I think that's it. It's over. You know what? History repeats itself, so I feel like we could easily look back at patterns in our own life, knowing that, well, I was with this person, we broke up, and I thought that was the end. And then this person, you know what I mean? So, alright, well, let's keep going. We have the 6 of Pentacles coming over the Empress. This is a very generous type energy. Compassionate. This is someone who feels good helping the underdog. And she could only do that through her wisdom. That means her experiences, understanding them. Interesting. That may be what the Death card over the Tower is saying. And you have you have the choice. It lies in your hands whether you, instead of staying in this 2 of I don't even know what it is. It'd be the 2 of Pentacles. It's funny, I'm not sure what card it is. But anyways, that just shows you that I read from the energy, more than what that card is. Okay, where am I at? So, 6 and 3. And then, hello. 4 of Swords. This is kind of beautiful. Coming right over the soulmates. This can talk about love that once was. Clearly we have soulmates, and I feel like we have both soulmates and twin flames. I feel like we've gone through this tower, because the Death card is saying you close that door, because what happens if I don't? Well, I don't know that this healing would even take place, right? Because it's almost like you're stuck in this energy. Interesting. 5 and 2 is 7. So you got to do it this year. Because I feel like, again, like you don't know what lies in your path, right? And you are you are the seed planter. So it is your energy, your intentions, your seeds that are going to determine your tomorrow. We always think like, can't happen for me. Well, why can't it? Maybe it'll be different. But it'll be for you. Let me grab a drink real quick. So those 4 swords, it's not just for the Empress, it's for both. That's probably why we saw the Emperor earlier. That's probably why. I feel like the Empress is kind of like on her own journey. You know what I mean? I feel like, interesting, we have Truth right below her. Judgment. And I feel like, whatever is coming your way, I feel like, I want to say most of you, even, well, I think if you remain in the 5 of Cups, you probably won't hear my words anyway. But I feel like, like, I wouldn't say rewards, but I feel like that may be the wrong word. The 4 swords, and then we have the 4 of Cups over here. So I feel like, again, it may lie in your hands. I'm sorry I keep putting in your hands. But it's almost like I'm either going to allow it to heal, and then I'm going to close the door to it. Or I'm going to remain in this almost sad, head down, not doing anything. Eventually it's going to affect your life. It's going to affect you in some way. And I don't feel in a good way. So, and listen, for some of you, I feel like this may even talk about something you've been through. Like, all right, like maybe I was with this soulmate, or, let's just say this love. And maybe we did break up, and maybe it's not what I wanted. And, I've been in this energy of missing them and wanting them, right? But then we have this awaiting game, which feels very anxious to me, versus the 6 of Cups, which is more of, I'm remembering the good things. I'm remembering the good things. So for some of you, it is a healing of a relationship. But I feel like, and it may speak of time, because I feel this Empress has like put together, I just feel like a nice little life for herself. All right, let's keep going. Let's not forget we saw the Emperor. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. So, I often think of the 3 of Pentacles energy much like the Empress. Because this is someone who, is really unique. We're all unique. And it can be doing something that, a million other people may do, but nobody does it like you. You know what I mean? This is where other people are admiring that part of you, your creativity. Your creativity. And I don't know, maybe some of you meet along that path. And then, hello, Knight of Pentacles. So, Knight of Pentacles, first of all, this is a slow moving knight. And no wonder the waiting game is there, right? And I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is saying, but you have to trust me. Because the Knight of Pentacles arise when the time is right. When is the time right? I don't know when the time is right. But I feel like what it's saying is, I can't remain in the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Cups energy. It just won't serve me. Almost like I want to control it, but I can't. So, what I love about the Knight of Pentacles is it tells you it's bringing something into your physical world. This is more than just energy. This is something that's tangible. Maybe a person, maybe an opportunity. Some of you, if it's in your pentacles, like, whoa. I feel like it may be very, very good. And for some of you, I feel like you may be meeting someone on that path. Maybe someone you already know. I don't know. And I find it kind of interesting because I feel like when I'm doing my thing and I'm no longer in this Five of Cups, instead I'm going to focus on, what makes me come alive. Like what's my, if I can't have that love maybe, or whatever it might be, what can I do? Because I do feel like in the Three of Pentacles, you are finding yourself. I do feel like the Empress and the Three of Pentacles are connected, as the Six of Pentacles also. And I love that the word truth is right below that. So anyway, the Knight of Pentacles is coming in interesting because it's a slow moving knight. And again, the Five of Cups is right above it. So, when's the right time? I have a feeling, I do have a feeling when I make the change within the Five of Cups. And it means I close the door to these previous patterns and I look at my own patterns. I'm truthful with myself. Not judgmental. I'm just truthful. Alright, we have the Devil. Card of Capricorn. Coming over the truth. It's interesting because it's also touching the Two of, again, I don't know what to call it. I think it's Two of Pentacles. But let's just call it the waiting game. And it can speak of like a darker influence, right? You know what I mean? And maybe that's why I keep going around and around and around. Some of you, it can speak about some of your past that just, wasn't meant to work out. But maybe there is someone else. I don't feel like, let's just say this is a devil or dark type energy. I don't feel like it would really stand a chance against truth. But ultimately, you have to be the believer of that. Okay, let's keep going. Some of you could be a Capricorn. And then look at this, we have the Chariot right over the Fool. Wow. I feel like if I allow, or let me put it a different way, if I understand that I am my own seed planter, like my seeds are what's going to determine my tomorrow. Now, it may be different than what I expect, but if I'm putting, good seeds in the ground, then I will have some type of crop. Chariot is really unlimited energy, and I feel the connection to probably lifetime, like eternity. Like we're always going to be together, whether we're on Earth or we're not. Whether we're in a human body or we're all in spirit. Chariot's really unlimited, but the Four Swords above that, and the soulmates, the Two Cups. I just feel like, whether this, I feel like this Four Cups, or I'm sorry, the Four Swords, again, healing, I feel like it's for both. And you think of the Four Swords, three of those swords are piercing you. That means, I'd probably be taking that pain. Again, I'm getting a 3. But then in the Four Swords, what you want to remember is there's one sword that you lie upon. And I feel like that's your own truth, right? It's your own truth. Again, not judgment, but I feel like each understanding that. And then Chariot, I feel like the Chariot can't really come in until almost like, if I drive the Chariot and, when I'm under the influence, it's going to wobble, right? I'll probably wreck it. But if I'm, sober and can see above and all that, then no problem, right? The Fool definitely is saying, yes, I'm going to take a chance. And I feel like both, in love, but also I feel like in your creative house. I feel like the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups, because of the Tower, and because of the Tower, it's creating this waiting game type of energy. Yet the Knight of Pentacles is like, hey, the right time is the right time. There ain't nothing you can do about that. Alright, I think I'm going to take one more round. This is a year where we're asking, is there more? And the answer is yes. More what? Well, what are you looking for? Maybe love shows up differently than what you expect. Maybe opportunity shows up differently. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's only saying it would be better. Alright, we have Destiny. Interesting, and then we have the Eight of Swords, which is a self-created prison. Well, okay. So some of you, I feel like you are disconnecting. The Eight of Swords, I feel like I have to create this wall around me. And I feel like that wall is protecting me, but, I don't know. Just look at her, like I could walk right between those swords, right? The ties are so loosely bound. She's got a blindfold on, but like her head's like, like she's trying to hear something. So all her senses are not gone. It's a self-created prison. And I feel like for some of you, it's saying this may be part of a soul's lesson, like something you came to learn. How do I break free from what I think is trapping me? The devil, I could be like under the influence, like for some reason I feel like maybe I feel like I'm not worthy. I don't know. But it lies within you, and that's good news, because that means you can take care of it. Self-created. Maybe your soul wants you to break free. And when I break free from this, I'm trusting energy. I don't need these swords to protect me. You know what I mean? Part of your will. I feel like great things are on your will, but so are hard things. That's life. You know what I mean? If we're all here just to have a great time, then I don't know. But I feel like we're more... It's like we came here to be teachers to younger souls, and the only way to do that is to have experiences. But, I can't get stuck in one and think, well, that's it. I got to be able to close the door so I can, see the potential of tomorrow. I feel like the Knight of Pentacles is like right there, but I can't come in till it's the right time. Eight of Swords. That would not be the right time. So I feel like free yourself, and the rest will follow. Maybe it makes me feel that power of being a spiritual being, knowing that I'm here to break free of these. They're illusionary. 8 is all about a new beginning. But I gotta break free first. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I don't even think I need to read Mother Mary. I got the gist of this reading. I think if it's meant for you, so did you. a little hard, a little real, but it speaks of the potential. I mean, really, that's really what it's talking about. So, learning to trust you again, trust your energy, allow yourself to have chances, be willing to be hurt, but also know when to walk away. I don't feel like the Empress even has to worry about that, because I feel like not much can get through her energetic field without her knowing it. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. I'm just thinking, what am I going to name this? I just think what you guys want you to know. I love you guys. I thank you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.